Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of the Team Lead Talks podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Becker out of Alexandria, Virginia. On today's episode, I had an awesome time meeting you earlier on our connection call, Nick. We have Nick Belardo. You're the Director of Operations for Compass. Welcome, Nick. Good to have you on the show, man.
Thanks for having me. I'm sitting here in beautiful Beverly Hills, California. Director of Operations. I oversee Southern California, San Diego, and Hawaii operations for Compass.
Very cool. Nick, oddly enough, you just mentioned you're in Beverly Hills. I'm on the East Coast in Alexandria, Virginia. My neighborhood is called Beverly Hills. So we have that. At least we have something in common. But I'm assuming you have much better weather throughout the year than we do over here.
We might have that on you.
Yeah. So Nick, let's jump into it. Let's start with what you do at Compass. Maybe before that though, how did you build up to a director of operations of Compass, essentially West Coast and Pacific?
Yeah.
Talk to us about high level about your position there and what you do.
I always love starting the conversation there because my pathway to real estate and my current position has been pretty unique. I've done everything from Justin Bieber impersonator, ice crew member for the NHL. I've been a radio host for the Walt Disney Company and a plethora of other roles that I've played in life. And what I always like to reflect back on is whatever it was that I was doing, there was always this underline of marketing happening. And what I started to learn early on in my career, whether I was doing Justin Bieber birthday parties or getting the crowd hyped at a sporting event, is that every brand has a story to tell. Every story needs a strategy in which it's told. And every strategy needs channels in which it's delivered. And in different roles, I've been the channel. In different roles, I've authored the channels. And you build this through line of that story and deliver it to an audience. And when it's done well, it really resonates. And that's what makes business happen. My long journey brought me actually into the retail marketing space, experiential focused. I worked for a great developer called Rick Caruso here in town. So anybody who's visited Los Angeles or lives here knows about famous properties like the Grove, the Americana brand. They really became the revolution of the shopping destination for consumers. And my job was to, with a beautiful team, build experiential marketing campaigns that took place on the property that drew traffic to the property and then integrated the tenants of that property into the event to inspire sales and brand loyalty.
Very cool. Side request for an additional episode. We'll talk about the Justin Bieber stuff. That's really...
I have to do my vocal for that episode.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll push that one off a little bit, but maybe in over the summer we'll do that one. All right. So you started in your underlying experience level here is all related to marketing on some shape or form. And then you worked with that renowned developer in the Los Angeles area. How did you ultimately make that transition from, I think you said it was Caruso, into Compass? How'd that work out?
It was one fateful day that got me to take a phone call. So what was happening at that time was I was reaching about 7 years into my time at Caruso, diehard loyal of the company, still am. I love Rick Caruso. I love Caruso, the company, and I love what it does for the city and everybody who has traditions and goes to those destinations to spend their time. I kept getting this call from a recruiter about 9 years ago. And the pitch was, there's a startup tech real estate company coming to this marketplace. Nobody's heard of it. Do you want to come work on the marketing team? I said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you a few times, in fact.
Yeah.
And one fateful day, I must not have been having a great day at work.
Yeah, right.
I decided to take the conversation, and it led to several conversations with a lot of big dreamers, people who took the leap of faith to help build this vision, this company that no one's heard of, but they believed in it. And what the visualization that was going in my brain, working for Caruso, which was a very established company, very successful, I had the opportunity to wave a beautiful flag, right?
Right.
Coming to Compass, I was really sold on the vision of helping a company raise its flag.
Yeah.
And I ultimately joined the company. We were contrarians in the space, doing a lot of innovative work, and I was getting to work with the best entrepreneurs in this marketplace. And it's been 9 years of pure joy for me and very exciting. If you follow along the company at all, it's evolved a lot over those 9 years, and I've had the pleasure of being part of a lot of that.
That's so cool. And this is no offense to Compass or you or anyone. We also got recruited big time, but on the East Coast for our team, but we did not choose to go the Compass route. Awesome company though. I've seen it. You actually, our team is at TTR Sotheby's International Realty, which now has been acquired. So that's a whole, I guess.
That's what I love about this industry, and I particularly loved about Compass. All these years, it's never been about being better than the other in the way of ego. It's always just about this is an incredible industry. There's a lot of opportunity and a lot of advocacy for individuals who are engaging in one of the biggest transactions of their lives. And whether you're at Sotheby's, whether you're at Compass or anywhere else, it's about being the best and providing the best. And there's a place for everybody to do that.
Yeah. So when you got, you made the decision to move over from Caruso to Compass. I'm assuming you didn't start as the director of operations, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, what position did you come in, and how did you wind up working your way up? And then I'd love to dive into like your day to day and what that looks like in terms of marketing and outreach and brand recognition.
My favorite thing to talk about. So my first role at Compass was marketing advisor for our West Side and emerging Valley regions at that time. So the landscape of Compass was we were new, a lot of agents were joining. They were joining to invigorate their brands, bring listings to the market in strategic ways. So my direct job was to work with agents on just that, writing a lot of strategy, helping them execute that strategy, and ultimately what I like to call changing lives, because I believe that's what we do when we partner with great entrepreneurs and help make their dreams come true. I climbed through the marketing org, ultimately to marketing manager here in our Southern California region during a time where we were launching a lot of markets and bringing a lot of new faces to the company. And what I became really obsessed with as an aside from marketing was really the relationship with the entrepreneur and with the real estate professional. And I became obsessed with making sure that they never dreamed of going anywhere else. And it was Compass priority to deliver on what we said we would deliver on. And it became a true obsession for me. It was never a job. It was what I was here to do. So I really became focused on retention and helped partner with the company to write a lot of programming to make sure that we were delivering upon that promise, ultimately leading into director of operations, into the role I'm in today, where I oversee our agent experience team, which are the folks making sure everybody has a North Star at the company and knows how to use the platform and knows where to go when needed. The marketing org, so everybody who's helping write all of that brand and listing strategy and make those dreams come true. I oversee the operational aspects of our workplaces, so keeping the lights on and helping to tie all those different pieces and all the elements of Compass together to make sure that there's a cohesive, incredible experience here every single day for our real estate professionals.
That's awesome, man. So let's talk about the marketing part, that because I know Compass has a lot to offer. It's, entrepreneurs that come under that brand. But I remember, dude, and I'm like, I have a bad memory, so maybe I'm getting some of this wrong, but I was shown some of the tech very early on when they tried to come into the DC market, and it was really cool. And I'm assuming I don't even know when that was, like maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, how advanced it has gotten. But let's talk to me, like, or anyone listening, like what you get specifically in the form of like that support and the role that you're overseeing from a marketing perspective, not only, I guess, from Compass, but like me as an agent or me as a team leader.
Absolutely. So marketing overall is this hugely complicated, hugely exciting, and endless bucket of possibility aspect of any business. I always talk about it as an art and a science. A lot of people index heavily on the assumption that marketing is all art. It's the pretty pictures and the exciting phrases and the way that we get people to go viral and things like that. But there's absolutely a science to it as well, which is the delivery, the campaigns, the metrics, and the ways we pivot and persevere within all of that. So my viewpoint here at Compass is our value proposition includes a human strategist that is helping you align your listing strategies, your brand strategies, and the place that those two meet in the middle to help you market share, increase your average price point, break into luxury, whatever it is that you dream about. And then there's the Compass platform, which is chock full of tools to help build efficiencies within those campaigns so that we launch a campaign, we have a platform helping empower it, and data flooding into it so that we know what is working and what is not. And ultimately, that over time compounds into a better business operation, a more efficient marketing strategy that is rooted in innovation so that we can optimize your business and what's working and what's resonating with your audience. And then also grow your audience and engage new people to grow your business.
Yeah. I'm curious, Nick, when you start to turn on that engine that you just described, we're in the day of AI, obviously, and some pretty big AI updates have come out just in the last few weeks alone. where's like the operation you're overseeing and running, where is that implementation helping to do what you did, but on an even grandioser scale of like, kind of sky is the limit here. Have you started to, I'm assuming you have, but can you talk about like AI in this model as well?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So something I believe Compass does really well is the art of being both big and boutique. And the way we like to say it is big is our engine, boutique is our edge. So when we're in the bucket of big, that's really where our platform comes in. Like I said, it's the end-to-end platform for real estate professionals to navigate the transaction, everything from how we interface with clientele at the pitch point, during the transaction, after the transaction. And of course, part of that, there's a lot of marketing tools in there. AI is overlaid into our platform to help build efficiencies and to help empower the human, but not replace the human. It's about giving time back to the real estate professional to be with their clients and hopefully even spend some time doing things that they love in their day to day. And then what I pair the passion of the boutique with that is it's all being delivered through your marketing advisor and through our marketing team here, so that it's not just the platform, it's not just the AI, it's not just the data, but it's a human who's interpreting it and putting that human touch on it. Because no matter what happens in this world, the real estate profession is always going to be relationship driven, and relationships are always going to be connected through human connection. So AI empowers us, makes us more efficient, adds a lot of power to the engine, and we deliver it all to you curated at the human level, which is
Very nice. Dude, I love that you said that right there, because obviously you kind of know a little bit of my background with like the software and the marketing stuff that we do on our end. You're using those tools, the AI, to buy back your time to ultimately be able to build better and stronger relationships, but in person. I always joke that real estate attorneys and doctors will always be able to have that AI edge, the competitive advantage, depending on what the tool is, but there's no replacing that, like human to human connection. And I don't know if you saw that dude like a few weeks ago, he tried to represent himself with his
yeah.
lawyer bot, and the judge was like, no, like absolutely not. And I don't know if you also saw someone saying they sold a house on ChatGPT and it went super easy and whatnot. That's cool, but I also think there are a lot of people on both ends of the buyer and the seller end that still want that, like, well, I can trust this, but I still need to verify it. So at the end of the day, I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball, and, no one really does, but like, will that ever truly replace humans? I think not. I think what will ultimately happen, Nick, is those who aren't going to adopt the the Claude new, agent bot efficiencies will start to fall off, because they're just going to get outworked by AI on the branding marketing stuff that you're talking about right now.
Well, it seems silly to think too that the role of a real estate professional as they engage with different clientele on either the buy or sell side is linear, right? There's efficiencies when there's a straight line. And I think that's where AI can help supplement.
Right.
But find me one real estate professional who's not also maybe the therapist of their client, the best friend of their client,
Yeah.
the stager, the sourcer of great vendors, all these different things that you have to be that I don't think AI can ever fully fill. And that's where loyalty, that's where trust, and that's where relationships get depth. It's not just saying hello and getting through a transaction. It's everything that's happening around it. And that's why I have so much respect for real estate professionals, because it is such a dynamic role and no transaction is so easy. There's so much to, and it requires a human at the helm.
Yeah, maybe like I'm getting older now. Like I still prefer, even when I do stuff in AI, to like confirm it and talk to someone who actually knows. So that's my hope, is that that continues. But maybe like I have small children and maybe one day that'll happen, but I don't see it happening anytime soon for
I
that.
would encourage anybody who's using AI to completely replace any part of their function is to ask AI itself, where could you have possibly gotten this wrong? And it will call itself out. Use it for efficiency, but always verify the
Yes.
output,
Yeah.
especially in our business where we represent and have such a duty to our client to do things the right way.
Yeah, exactly. Nick, I'm curious, like, what's the hardest part of your role as a director of operations? Just, I know this is kind of like a very open-ended type of question, but very high level type of position here that we're talking about at Compass. What's like the biggest, can you answer that? Is there like one thing that you're like, man, I really wish that like we can get AI to make this more efficient? Like, what are you seeing out there?
I think that is such a dynamic question. And if you ask me tomorrow, it might be even a different answer. But I think our industry is so interesting because it's driven and influenced by the entire world, driven by our submarkets, hyper locally driven. So every single day you're showing up and having to respond to a lot of exterior forces that drive our marketplace, drive the health of our markets, and then the moods of all the folks operating within that, right? So it's having to show up and be a lot of different things to a lot of different people every single day. It's remaining highly personalized in a lightning speed world in an industry that demands you to change on the spot and show up in different ways and places and for different needs, and to do it for multiple different people. It's a challenge, but it's a good challenge. It's an exciting challenge, and it requires you to be constantly innovative and efficient. And that's really where that big and boutique art form comes in. And I'm really passionate about doing that every single day. So while it's challenging in many ways, the challenges are fun. They're mountains to climb, but when you climb a mountain, look at the view, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well said. Never heard that before. Cool, man. All right. I know we're coming up on time here. I'm interested to know, like, I know Compass has a lot to offer. So maybe this could just be like a Nick specific thing. Obviously, clearly, you know marketing very well and you're very passionate about it. Can you share a marketing tip or resource or maybe a book that anyone listening right now could get or use or execute that could change their life, their community, or their real estate business?
Ooh, that's a really good one. I'm going to start at the book, and it's not a marketing book, but it's a book I think every single human in every single industry should read. And it's called Unreasonable Hospitality. It's
Okay.
the form of making every moment for your customer extraordinary. And extraordinary doesn't always mean grand gestures, it means listening and creating a meaningful moment for every single person you come into contact with. And if you go to my LinkedIn right now and you read my mission statement, that is everything I'm about, which is creating exceptional experiences for people. So
That's so
Unreasonable Hospitality is a great book to build a foundation of the extraordinary and the experience. If I were to say anything to any entrepreneur right now, it's get back to the basics. We're in the midst of a spring market. Our industry's busy. Everyone's getting busier. I feel it at all levels. It's making sure to get back to the basics. Make sure your CRM is up to date. Make sure you know who you're talking to. Then think about what you need to be saying to them. And then make sure that your campaigns and your strategy are all buttoned up, tied with a bow, and
yeah.
delivered to that particular audience. It's about getting back to the basics, getting back to the human, and being really intentional and strategic and smart. And always remember marketing is an art and a science. And you have to make sure that you're marrying those two things well, and
Yeah.
your payoff over time will definitely.
Is that book? I'm trying to fill my top shelf behind me. So when people bring up books that I've never heard about before, Nick, I go to Amazon. So that's what I was doing. In case you were wondering, is that the book by Will Guidara?
That's him.
All right,
An
cool. So,
incredible entrepreneur, restaurant owner who only settled for being the number one restaurant in the world. The story is extraordinary. The level of detail he puts into his operation is extraordinary. And the storytelling which he brings to the book makes it really achievable and inspiring.
awesome. Well, I thanks to the good people at Amazon, I will get that between 4 and 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So
I'm looking for it on myself.
yeah, yeah, another awesome book. Nick, this has been really cool. I know there's so much that we can talk about, but we like to keep our episodes short here at Team Lead Talks. If anyone out there is listening, wants to get in touch with you about Compass, about the West Coast operation that you're overseeing, to learn about marketing, whatever the reason is, how does somebody reach out to you? How do they find you?
Absolutely. I'd say follow me on Instagram at Nicky Belardo, NICKY BELARDO. I am constantly posting the exciting things happening at Compass, my marketing tips of the moment, and just what's going on in my life. I think that's a great place to connect, and you can always reach out to me, and I love having great conversations and meeting new people.
Awesome. And we will include all of your contact information in the description of this episode. So if you're watching this on YouTube, look below and connect with Nick. Fantastic time, dude. Really good conversation. I know this was good. I knew this was going to be a good one when we connected on our pre-episode call. So thanks so much for your time and have a great rest of great weekend, I guess. Today's Friday, right?
Thank you. And thank you for having me. I was really excited about this. You definitely delivered. Getting to know you through this whole process, you're an amazing mind and collaborator. So I'm happy to have been here today.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. And right back at you. Take care, dude. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.